Have you ever said to yourself, I'm just too busy, or I'm tired to check my blood sugar today, or I'll take my insulin much, much later, or I will skip today's walk because I've got so much to do? I do that sometimes, I won't lie. Sometimes I say, oh, I'm so tired today, I think I'll walk tomorrow. Or you say, I'll deal with my diabetes um, self-care management later when life becomes less stressful. If this sounds familiar, this video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Nkiruka, a certified diabetes educator, a diabetes coach, and a clinical researcher. And lastly, but not the least, a lived experience expert. Welcome to TDC Diabetes Community, where we are building diabetes care through reality-based education. Today, let's talk about something most people living with diabetes struggle with, but very few admit it: being too busy to look after ourselves. In all honesty, like I said earlier on, I do this sometimes. I'm too busy to remember that I need to take care of myself, and unconsciously I have to keep reminding myself about that. So it's something that we need to admit and then get it sorted as soon as possible to avoid any consequences that are irreversible. Now let's start this conversation with how life gets busy, but diabetes will never take a day off. In all honesty, life is very demanding. You've got your day job, you've got children, you've got university, you've got businesses to do, you've got clinic appointments, you've got financial pressures, and other extended family responsibilities. And before you know it, before you snap your fingers, your diabetes moves to the bottom of this priority list. So I would say that many people don't neglect their diabetes because they don't care about themselves. They neglect it because they are overwhelmed. But here's the reality: diabetes doesn't pause simply because your schedule is. Every day your blood sugar levels stay consistently high or it's too low, is your body silently being affected by those two extremes. Unlike a headache or a fever, diabetes complications often develop quietly over the years. By the time these symptoms appear, significant damage has already occurred. This is when the problem starts. Now, let's move ahead and look at what happens when you constantly ignore your diabetes self-care. When diabetes self-care becomes very inconsistent, several things can happen. So, number one, your blood sugar becomes very, very unpredictable. And then secondly, medications becomes inconsistent. So you become inconsistent in taking your medications. And then number three, the small problems become bigger problems. For example, you noticed a tiny blister under your foot, and you just say, oh, that's a tiny blister, it will go away. Before you know it, it has become infected, and subsequently this can lead to amputation. Number four, your body begins to suffer silently. So poor glucose control increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, eye disease, nerve damage, sexual dysfunction, poor wound healing, and frequent infections. So all these complications aren't guaranteed, but the risk actually increases when your diabetes remains unmanaged for very long periods. Now, let's move ahead again and look at the emotional cost that nobody talks about. Ignoring diabetes doesn't just affect your body, it also affects your mental health too. Many people start to feel guilty, ashamed, and overwhelmed. They start to avoid appointments because they are feeling guilty or ashamed, because that they fear that if they go for an appointment now, that the clinician or their diabetes team is going to judge them, and eventually this could lead to them stopping checking their blood sugars, and they're just overwhelmed and afraid because of what the numbers will show. Remember this: a blood glucose reading is information, not a report card. Your glucose readings, it's not judging you, it's simply giving you an information that can actually help you make your next decision. Progress actually starts with you knowing where you are, so it's good to be mindful of everything going on with your body and don't neglect your diabetes care. So like I said, progress starts with knowing where you are. So moving on, I want to stress that you don't need perfection. You actually need consistency. One of the biggest myths in diabetes is that you have to do everything perfectly. Number one, I used to believe in this myth so much. Honestly, you don't have to. Small actions repeated consistently, they create very big improvements. This I have seen over the almost 4 decades of living with diabetes. So I don't strive for perfection anymore. I just take one day at a time, small actions, routine, repeated consistency. I've been seeing great and big improvements in my overall self-care. So just start by choosing one habit, maybe checking your glucose before breakfast, taking your medication on time, preparing healthier meals, walking for 15 minutes, drinking more water, keeping a diabetes diary, like I talked about in my previous video. Every small step counts in your self-care management. Your future self, honestly, will thank you. So, my CTA today will be: if you have been neglecting your diabetes because you feel that life is so busy, don't you dare beat up yourself. Today is a fresh start for you. You can't change what happened yesterday, but you can make one better decision today after watching this video, and another tomorrow, because diabetes is a lifelong journey, but so is your opportunity to actually protect your health. If you found this video helpful, please, I would like you to like, share, and subscribe to TDC Diabetes Community. Together, we are building diabetes care through reality-based education. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.